Hi, I'm Regina. I help professionals who feel unfulfilled get clear on what they want and move past their fear of the unknown so they can create a life that feels fulfilling and in flow. Today, I'm going to talk about what you can try if you feel like there's something that you've accepted as unchangeable but you'd actually love to happen sooner, and how you can explore that to see if there are other possibilities. And I'm also going to talk about what Bulgarian sunflowers reminded me about approaching situations where we feel powerless or where we can't influence or change how a situation is. It's always been a dream of mine to go to a sunflower field. So a few years ago, I found out about and went to a field just outside London. But it turned out I'd missed high season, and I decided to go the following year and try to catch them in full bloom then. But the next summer, something had gone wrong and some crows had eaten all the seeds. So I decided there was nothing I could do, and I felt resigned to waiting another year. I was going to Bulgaria that year to see friends, and we were on a train, and suddenly we came across this massive field of sunflowers in full bloom. It was totally gorgeous, and it probably lasted for a couple of minutes. It was definitely much more impressive than a sunflower field I'd wanted to see in London, and I'd also just found it by chance. Plus, I was basically a year early since I'd been resigned to waiting another year. The thing I realized was sometimes we resign ourselves to something and think we have limited option, so when that's just based on our default reactions and assumptions. In the case of the sunflowers, it wasn't a huge deal to me since I was willing to wait another year. And in the end, it was just a stroke of luck that brought me that sooner. But I've reacted similarly to things that are more important to me, sometimes thinking of things as a given or unchangeable instead of questioning my initial or automatic reaction or acceptance of something. I see this when I coach people and I help them to probe a bit deeper and explore if what they are accepting as fixed or unchangeable actually has more flexibility, options, and possibilities, which have the space to emerge when they do look deeper. So I'd invite you to think about if there's something right now that you've similarly accepted as a given that you'd actually love to happen sooner. And if there is something like that, just probe a bit deeper and question it to see if there are other options. I have some questions you can ask yourself to help you do that. First, what am I accepting as a given or unchangeable that may be more flexible than I'm assuming? And what might be another way to approach this that I haven't thought of yet? And what's my ideal and how might I move towards that sooner if it feels important to me? So to sum up, I think we all have moments when we automatically accept things as a given or unchangeable, but with things you'd actually love to happen sooner, and especially with things that feel important to you, I really encourage you to probe a bit deeper and question if there are other possibilities that you may not have considered and more flexibility than you originally assumed. If what I talked about today resonated, I'd love to hear your comments and what your takeaway is. And if you'd like to hear more tips, just follow my page where I'll be posting more tips like these. Thanks for watching and bye for now.